This video will demonstrate some tricks or tips for taking the exams or quizzes in Blackboard, and also taking quizzes or exams in Blackboard logged in within BioLucidum. First, I want to go to the sample tests, and I'm going to open up and begin to take the sample test part A as a student. But first, when I click on the exam to start it, before I begin, I can enlarge my view area by hiding the menu. You simply click the little arrow like that, or you can find it to go back. Now you have to be at the top. You can't be down here at the bottom. You won't find that arrow here. It's up here, you see. So always have your scroll bar at the top, and then you click on like that. And now you have more territory. And now, after you begin the test, then you'll be able to get rid of the test information after you've read it. So you see up here on test information, you click that up arrow, and that removes that. Now you can have the time shown if you like, or hide it, and the question completion status. This will show you the questions you've completed. Now this part A on the sample test, exactly like you will have the questions delivered in part A of all the module quizzes, and you have all the questions in a row like this, okay? And actually this one, there are, I think, a few questions that are just text only like this to give you a demonstration, but we put a lot of the image questions in here so you could see how they look. Now when you proceed to the next question, or you answer a question, of course, say, for example, maybe this is pancreas. You see immediately that was saved. Then I can go to the next question and click on common fixative is, let's say, formaldehyde. And that's saved. So you can tell what's saved up here. And if you don't want to follow that question completion status, you can also hide that. There's one more step you can take to get even more territory, and I'll demonstrate that. And on a PC at least, if you hit F11, then your browser is full screen. I'm not going to continue with this demonstration full screen, but then if I click F11 again, I come back to this size of a window in my browser. So I'm going to pause this for a moment, because that's the way to get rid of all these areas that would block out part of your questions, and also the course menu. So I return it like that. Now if you choose, you can take it like this, but I think that you will agree that it's better to hide some of these things in order to have more visibility. So the next part of this video will be to demonstrate taking part B, where you have links to virtual slides in BioLucidum. Okay, I'm logged in to Blackboard using the quiz and exam cloud that I set up, and you've also been given instructions to set up. The connection here, of course, was the quizzes and exams. And when I connected like that, this is what I have. So I'm going to have to log in again. Okay, here we are. I'm going to click on the fall course, just like you will. And then I'm going to go to the quiz and exam information link. And then I'm going to click on the sample tests. Notice I'm doing all this within BioLucidum, which is what you have to do to take part B. So I'll click on part B. And now these questions are going to be delivered one at a time, because this is how it will be on the midterm and the final exam. So we're demonstrating two things here: how to take a part B, or in the case of the final exam, part C, logged in to Blackboard within BioLucidum. And we're demonstrating, unlike the module quizzes, how questions will be delivered one at a time in a midterm and final exam. So you can do the same thing here. You can get rid of the menu like that, as we demonstrated before, and then when you begin the test, then you can get rid of the test information, hide it. You can hide the time, you can hide the completion status. It's your choice of how much you want to show. You can always go up and show the timer to see how many minutes and seconds are left. You can always, before you finish the test, you can check and make sure all these are grayed out. So when you click on the virtual slide, then it's going to open up in a new tab. You see, here is the tab for the Blackboard quiz. And we clicked on this link, and now we have the first specimen. And make sure that you see the question over here in an annotation. If you don't, up here, you see, click on the hand and the pencil with the little paper, and you can adjust this window. It's a little touchy, but you can adjust it like that. And if this low power image is not shown, you can click it like that and it will come on. And ideally, this is supposed to show you what you're looking at in the enlarged image here. So this question, you can always make sure you're seeing what we want you to see by clicking on the annotation and then go to. And that will put it right in perspective. This particular question is identify the component of this gland enclosed by the circle. I'll go back here and I put strided duct because that's what that is. Now, in this case, the answer will be saved when you go to the next question by clicking the arrow over here. And we'll just verify that, you see. Okay, we're gonna answer one more question so I can demonstrate zooming and panning and taking advantage of a virtual slide. So it says identify the organ enclosed within the dashed line. So we click here, and here is the specimen over on this side. So we got to identify this organ that's within this. So I want to make sure that I'm looking at what we plan for you to look at. So I click that and go to. Yes, there it is. All right, now there is a scale bar down here, and the scale bar dimension at this magnification is 500 micrometers. So from the length of this dark line here is 500 micrometers. Sometimes that might be important in answering a question. Now, many times you have to enlarge the image. You can move it around. This shows you the context. But you may need to enlarge this to, for example, this happens to be tonsil. And one of the clues in the tonsil is the seen epithelium associated with it, either pseudostratified or stratified squamous, non-keratinizing epithelium, because tonsils are always close to an epithelial surface, whether it be adenoids or lingual tonsils or whatever. And now the other feature that I'm able to see here is I see a light center here, and I see what looks like a round nodule. Well, this is a lymphatic nodule, so that's another clue that it's tonsil. So zooming in and out like this, I'm using my mouse wheel, but I can also zoom it in like this, and you see it shows down here on 50% of total magnification. If I keep clicking the plus mark, I'm at 100%. Now that's as far as you can go with that. And I can move around to anywhere I want to. Let's go over here. I'm looking at this now. Now let's say I wanted to magnify this more. I can press the Z on my keyboard, and this turns into a plus. And I can go like that. And that'll enlarge it more, but look down here, it's 346%. So this is well beyond the resolving power of the original lens that was used to make this virtual slide. This is what's called empty magnification. You only use this if you really have to, but you're not going to see it much. Now, if we want to go back to the original magnification of 100%, or what we set it at. We set it at 5% at low magnification, so you can start out that way. Okay, this video is almost 10 minutes long, and I'm going to close it out now. Hopefully, all this will be helpful in interacting with the quizzes in the course. Again, I'm going to return this. I can put all this information down here and remind you that showing all of this does You can still do the questions, but it's a little more difficult without getting rid of all this other territory. So good luck this semester. We hope you all do well.